What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Practically Reality Podcast.
I feel like it's been a minute since we've been live, or I've even been live. Gosh, how long has it actually been, chat?
I think it's like 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
Has it been 4 weeks?
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Life has happened, guys. We apologize that we've not been able to be consistent, but Declan had some crazy stuff going on. I had some crazy stuff going on. So it just couldn't happen for a little bit. So I don't know. Declan was like, hey, let's just call it season 2. I'm down. Season 2, let's go.
Heck yeah.
Nah,
man, how's it been? There's been so much going on.
That is why I was like, we can't not talk because too much has happened that just needs to be discussed at this point. But no, my life has been crazy. I don't even know where to start with like what's been going on. We almost have another game ready.
Heck yeah. Like another preview or like a full game?
Nope. Yeah, full game. I'm ready to launch almost.
That's
so it's different than what we've done in the past. It is Monsters and Mazes. So we've talked about that a little bit. It is almost completely ready to go. And guys, it's terrifying. It is genuinely terrifying. Like I don't know if VR horror is ever going to be the same because we've done some crazy stuff. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be going live hopefully soon in the next probably week or two.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I have jumped back into game development myself in the past 4 weeks while I've had so much extra time with not doing the podcast. And I am actually working on an update to one of our last games, Hard Drive. I've been working on a leaderboards update. So for all of you Hard Drive fans out there, we are finally getting leaderboards into the game. And you guys will be able to see where you stack up against the other players in your kill streaks. Nice. I basically jumped into the game. That game has been so painful for me because like I've wanted it to succeed so bad. It's a game that I have genuinely wanted to make for a really long time. And I jumped into it and I was like, that's right. I know how to code. And I've just started making it in the ways that I've wanted to like make it happen. So I've done like a complete user experience design revamp of the game. I've gone in and polished the movement. I've gone in and changed a lot of like the default settings. I created icons and made just the game feel just like more polished more than anything. And I've just like Maverick said projectile vomit after playing it. Oh my gosh. No, that's another thing that I have done is I've gone in and made it so that the default comfort settings are maxed out so that any new players jumping into the game will have the maximum comfort settings possible. And super chat, thank you so much from Tails and Fries, little Jeremy.
Little Jeremy, heck yeah.
Bad lads. Dude, thank you, man. Thank you. So yeah, I've been going crazy, man. I've been jumping out it the last couple of weeks.
That's fun.
It's been cool.
Exciting stuff, man.
And I am in the process of getting a creator code from Fortnite.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So pretty soon here, I will have a code that I'll be able to share with you guys. And if you use it to buy like your battle passes and whatnot, it'll go to support me. So kind of excited about that too.
You're only going to play Fortnite now.
Sorry, guys. Dude, I actually have been playing Fortnite quite a bit lately. Yeah. That Star Wars season got me into it, and
really?
I can't build worth a darn, but I can hold my own on no build. So
there you go.
It's been fun. I've been seeing the glory that is Fortnite.
Dude, for Hard Drive, you just got to hold out until they release that new Tron movie. I bet that freaking gets people stoked on Tron again.
And that's kind of what I've been thinking. Is it's just like, you know what, Tron is coming back because they're making another movie, and also it's so dope. There's a lot of people I've seen on social media who've been posting Tron Legacy edits, which like that is definitely the movie that inspired that game.
Oh, for sure.
And so like I've just been like, you know what, we just need to fix a couple things that are kind of broken with the game, get all the toxic people out of there, and I really think it'll turn into something special. But you know, I think adding some leaderboards and some more like meta content will definitely help as well to give people more of a purpose of like, yeah, I'm number 25 in the world for Hard Drive players. And I'm also considering releasing it on Steam as well. to broaden our user base. So we'll see. I'll be hopefully pushing that update soon here, but we will see. We will see.
Oh, that's exciting. I think like the Tron idea is really dope. I've always thought it'd be really cool to have a Tron video game, and I don't know. I love Tron. I fell in love with Tron during Tron Legacy. I thought the main character was one of the coolest guys ever.
No, it's such a dope idea, and like we built it. Like you can go into our game and play disc battles. You can play the light bikes. Like we have all of that in there, and we also have like a racetrack that I've been working on. That times you like for like your times. I'm considering like upgrading that depending on how this little update goes to like being like a legit racetrack where it'll wait for like a certain number of people and then it'll do a countdown and then it's just a go type thing.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it, but yeah, again, it's just one of those games where it's like we don't really have time right now as a company to put tons of time into it. But I'm like, you know what? I love this game. I want it to keep going, so I'm gonna put my own time into it, and that's what I've done. I'm excited about it.
With your other ideas for your games, are you just gonna make them now, or I mean, because you made Monsters and Mazes?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on what happens with Monsters and Mazes, right? Like if Monsters and Mazes just like because Monsters and Mazes is extremely expandable.
Yeah.
Because like the whole premise of it is like there's a maze and a monster, and we can keep going with that for a really long time. Right now, what we have built into the game is we have a Minotaur and a Labyrinth as one maze. We have a Backrooms maze, and then we also have a Cornfield and a Scarecrow maze. So there'll be 3, potentially 4. We kind of have a 4th in the works, kind of a Slender Man inspired one.
Awesome.
That we have in the works as well.
Like a forest.
Yep, it's like a forest. Go collect pages. You've got, creepy faceless guy coming after you. Tons and tons of fun. Really, really creepy. We've just really done some crazy stuff with the environment, lighting and whatnot, which I'm super excited about. I probably shouldn't be giving too much away. My dads are gonna kill me, but it's fine. I'm super excited about the game, and like
that's awesome.
Yeah, just we've been cooking on it, and I made the social medias for it. You guys go follow Monsters and Mazes on TikTok and YouTube. We've got social medias. I haven't started posting yet, but like I've been excited from like the marketing side of things to start doing some horror content because that's what it is. Like humorous horror content is gonna be interesting. But I'm just excited about it. But yeah, so go back to the other like the prototypes and stuff. Kind of depends on like what happens with Monsters and Mazes. Like we just really fell in love as a team with the idea of Monsters and Mazes, and we did a bunch of like mini prototypes on the other ones. Like for Z-Route, for example, we went in and used Unity dots to see how many zombies we could get into a VR scene without crashing the Quest 2. And it wasn't super impressive. Like it wasn't like what we wanted it to be to give that just like I'm fighting hordes of zombies feel, you know? So we were kind of like, oh man, I don't know if we can get Z-Route to be what we want. What we ended up finding out is like with the zombies having the capabilities that we wanted them to have, we'd only be able to have about 200 zombies at a time, which is still a lot, and it would feel like a lot. But with just kind of some of those like horde mentality things we want to do, it's going to take us a little bit more time. We've also the other one, what's it called? Certain depths. We have a pretty solid idea for certain depths.
Cool.
But we want to wait and see what people think of Monsters and Mazes because it'll kind of play off of some of the stuff that we built in Monsters and Mazes.
Yeah,
like some of the software stack that we built into that. And so we're kind of waiting on Monsters and Mazes to see like which direction we should go with that.
Cool.
And then for the Cowboy game, we're thinking about potentially doing a Kickstarter for our Cowboy game because that's going to be a big project, and we kind of want to know the scope of the project before going into it. Yeah. So we're thinking about launching a Kickstarter for the Cowboy game. This wouldn't be anytime soon. This would probably be like sometime next year or whatever. But launching a Kickstarter to know like this is exactly where the community wants us to take this game, and that way we would be scope oriented from the get go.
And you'd have like stretch goals and stuff too, where you can expand it out.
Yeah, we just recently hired on a guy who has run a couple of successful Kickstarters campaigns.
Awesome.
So we have a guy who's like just really knows how it works and has helped us set up like a page. We're trying to get it up and running so people can like kind of keep an eye on it before we ever launch it. But yeah, no, we just kind of been cooking behind the scenes, and we're also debating a major refactor of Sail VR as well.
Oh, really?
this tech stack that we're currently using is really difficult to run like NPCs because it's all client side. It's client to client structure, right? And we're thinking of switching over to a headless build system that'll allow us to run essentially the game on a server, and then clients are just connecting to the server. So that way, all the logic of like NPCs, the Kraken, events, all that stuff is happening on a server rather than on people's devices. Because right now, the Quest 2 is just getting throttled by what we're trying to do on sale, and it's becoming an issue. So chat, I'm gonna need your guys' opinion on this. Like, is it more worthwhile for us to take like 3 or 4 months and really refactor the game so that can run beautifully, or just keep pushing updates where we fix what we can? I don't know. We'll see what people say about it. But yeah, so give me a month, and apparently I undo the universe.
Garrett's back in the code, and he's like, "Oh."
I forget. Like, if I touch the code, I can do anything. And then the gaming world as a whole has just gone topsy-turvy while we've been gone. My goodness. Oh, yeah. What is going on, dude? What was the last thing we even talked about? Did we talk about the Switch 2 or less? Okay, yeah, Switch 2 has some more developments. Get back into it. Let's just jump into the wins and losses, I guess.
Cool. Yeah.
What do you got for me?
So something that I think is a huge win that maybe not a lot of people will think is a win, or I mean, it's a win, but not a lot of people will care. So 8th Wall, the software that I use, they just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago announced the change in their pricing structure. So now you can build anything for free.
Wow.
And you can make commercial projects for free. So it's more like the Unity structure where you only have to start paying and creating like a pro account if you hit a certain amount of revenue in your business by like the end of the year or something like that. So I think if you make $1 million or have reached $1 million in funding, then you have to start paying for the software. Yep. And then the big thing though is like commercial projects. So like all the things that I do where I'm making games for clients and stuff, before it would cost $700 a month to run a project like that. And now they're completely free. So that just means huge. A lot of smaller businesses will be able to run those types of experiences and campaigns without having to pay a ton of money. I mean, yeah, it was like $800 a month if you count in the subscription that you had to have to be able to do it, just off base, and then plus $700 a month for the actual license to do it. They're saving $800 a month, and that can go into the actual development of those types of experiences now instead. So it's exciting stuff.
Huge. That's huge. And then, that's opening it up for so many people. That's huge.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, more people are going to be able to make web games using Niantic Studio, but also like VR and AR experiences. And then the other thing that's really cool is they just announced a partnership for a game jam that is started yesterday and goes through the end of June with Viverse. So they're kind of making a similar product to, I would say, what is it called? Horizons, a little bit different. It uses like game engines online, so it's not all gated by like Vive necessarily. But it's the same
3D internet.
Yeah, it's like a similar concept to the Horizon stuff, but it's not like overtaking everything. It's like a different branch of Vive. But they just announced this game jam collaboration with them, and this game jam now has $32,000 in prizes that they're offering.
Wow.
So the top 3 winners of the game jam, the top winner will receive $10,000, the second will receive $8,000, and then the third will receive like $6,000, and they'll all be put into the Viverse Creators Program to get their games funded. And they do something different where, like, if you go into Meta's creator program for the Horizon Worlds, you have to build a product and then you get money given to you at the end for doing the work. Viverse will pay you up front for the actual game to be developed. So you get the money up front, you'll have the money, and then you'll have to deliver a product. They'll do like 50% up front, 50% on end or something like that. But it's pretty cool. Like, it's another way for developers like me to be able to get on and create an experience. And I'm super stoked about it if Eighth Wall is able to connect with them and use it as a way to deploy games from their platform that they're building, to be both, web games and potentially VR games and AR games. Like, it'll just be a great distribution platform for the types of games that I make. So that's been really exciting over the last couple weeks, and it's
That's
really
cool.
like changed my industry a lot. Now web AR doesn't have to compete with social AR because it's the same cost for people to make web AR experiences, but they're not beholden to like a social media platform, which is huge for my whole
Huge.
industry. Yeah.
Huge. Like opening it up like that just means that you'll see exponential growth.
Yeah.
Just because
So
people, yeah, no, that's huge. That'll be way cool. If you guys want to learn more about like Eighth Wall and stuff, you should definitely go check out Declan's social media as he teaches that stuff. He's got some tutorials and whatnot, and it sounds like there's some prizes up. So if you guys want to check that out, Declan's got the links.
I'm deploying a new tutorial tomorrow.
Let's go.
I just finished a new game. I built Duck Hunt using augmented reality, where you are using your phone to look at an image target. And then inside of the image target, there's a portal, and you have a little reticle on your phone, and you're shooting the little fruit that are flying across the portal. So it's a pretty cool, like, augmented reality experience. Yeah, it's fun.
That's way sick.
So cool stuff. Lots of fun stuff on the horizon when it comes to web gaming with Eighth Wall.
That is awesome. That's good to hear. I was a little bit nervous with like Niantic and stuff, their little cell that like, because they divided it into the games division and the software division. But I'm glad to hear that it sounds like whoever's in charge has got the right idea of getting more people into it. Open it up as free and only charge the people that make the big bucks. I like that a lot.
The community's growing a lot too. There are a lot of new people jumping in the Discord. So
heck yeah. That's awesome. Well, my big win for the past couple of weeks. Have you heard of Clair Obscur Expedition 33?
I have not.
Okay. This is an indie game that I love them so much. The game itself is beautiful. Like, it is just a stunning game made by a team of 33 people.
Wow.
But the best part about it, the leader of this little gang, he's a guy, I forget what his name is. It's French. It's kind of hard to say. But he's a former Ubisoft employee.
Oh, okay. I've seen news about this.
Yes, he left Ubisoft, started this company, and his game has outperformed Assassin's Creed Shadows on Steam. It has more all-time peak current users and more just like they're just killing Assassin's Creed Shadows. And it is just such a win to me to see a guy leave the big studio, start his own small studio, and then just punch them out of the water. What a win for indie gamers, dude.
What kind of game is it?
So it's kind of a unique blend of a couple different things. It's like a turn-based RPG of sorts, is my understanding of it. I haven't actually played the game. I've only watched like gameplay of it, and it has a fantastic soundtrack. If there's one thing you should check out, it has a beautiful soundtrack. But yeah, no, that's just been crazy. Watching that whole thing go down. I just love it when the big guys get stuck to with stuff like this. Brings me joy. I love the little guys because I am a little guy, which I have a funny loss of being the little guy that I want to talk about.
Dude, jump into it then.
So, I don't know if I should call this a win or a loss, but Meta makes a big announcement that they have made their own pirate game. And I was like, fantastic.
Great.
But it's a VR graphics showcase, and it's like a pirate thing, and it's open source, which is kind of cool. Like, that's kind of a win, is it's all open source code showing off like things you can do in virtual reality.
Yeah.
But like it's not that impressive, if I'm being honest. I can't. My developers have forbidden me from saying some of the stuff that we have going on behind the scenes. But let's just say, like, it's just not that impressive. I jumped into it and was just like, really? This is your graphic showcase? Like, I had like a couple of bugs and like dropped frames like right off the get go. And I was like,
that's such a bummer too, though, to see that. You hate to see that.
It's what's like the lost part of it to me is it's like, okay, you guys went and spent probably a good chunk of money developing this little experience. It's like a 30-minute individual game. It's like a story-based game. It's pretty cool. But it's like, why aren't you investing that into like a creator fund, not on Horizon Worlds. Horizon Worlds
For
can
sure.
go die in a Sarlacc pit, but like, why aren't you funding games? Because like for the amount of money that they put into funding that little research project, that could have easily created a couple of like new indie games. So I'm like, I don't know. I've got my issues with Meta. They sent something to me privately that I'm
Really
like, very jaded about, and I don't think I'm allowed to share it. But it's just they continue to make decisions that I'm like, what are you thinking?
That's crazy.
Seriously. I don't know. That's why I love hearing about stuff like the Viveverse doing things and partnering with good people, because like I just feel like they have their heads on straight. Whereas I don't think Reality Labs is really thinking too much about. They're just not thinking about VR anymore, which is really sad. They're all focused on those new AI glasses, which they have some cool stuff that I've experienced with AI glasses recently. But I don't know. It was just kind of annoying that it's like, if you guys wanted to do VR showcase, you could have given us that funds and we could have upgraded our graphics and shown you what's really possible. But hey, who am I to judge? Anyway,
that's a bummer. I don't know.
Meta's dev relationship right now is just kind of absurd.
I bet it's trash. Yeah,
it's absurd. Like I have a dev rep. I haven't talked to him in like a year and a half. Like,
really?
And like the last time I did talk to him, it was so like I don't even know how to put it. Like it just seems like something's going on at that company, dude, where like everyone is pointing in different directions. They got like 6 different rocket engines all firing off in different directions, and they're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just really sad. So, especially for a product I love so much,
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows? Anyway, what you got for me? What's your loss?
Well, the loss for me has to do with the Switch again.
Yeah.
Right. So I saw a video yesterday where somebody was talking about how Nintendo is now going to deactivate your console if you hack it at all. So now they have the right to go in and deactivate your Nintendo Switch if you go in and like jailbreak it in any single way. And somebody's like, well, they're buying the console. They have the right to do whatever they want with the hardware, right? And Nintendo's thing is like, no, they're buying a license to be able to use the hardware.
You're buying a license to use.
That is crazy. That is bizarre to me. You're buying a license to be able to use a Nintendo Switch, and then all of the physical games are just a key that will let you download the game. So you're buying a physical key that will allow you to download the game, and you have a license to use the game. Like, this is so backwards to me that it's going to work like that.
It's kind of scary as well, because like, what, like the way that you detect modifications or even like, even problems with your software can be very finicky, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like if there's some kind of bug, like I'm literally reading some of their stuff, and it literally quotes that they will make it permanently unusable.
Yeah.
If it detects unauthorized modifications or piracy related activities. And it's like, well, I know in the past, like some people had to make modifications to the Switch for like accessibility reasons, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that could potentially be caused as like an authorized modification. But at the same time, it's like, imagine getting a false positive on that and then just blow. Like I'm literally imagining that they're going to put some kind of something into the Switch that will let them basically kill switch it. Like, not necessarily like a bomb or anything, but I do think that they'll probably put in something where it's like, okay, if you activate this, it will not be usable, And that's terrifying.
I mean, if everything has to be connected to the internet to play, they can just have some sort of like authorization when you launch a game. It sends authorization to the Nintendo server saying, yes, this person can play, or no, this person can't.
Yeah, and like the other thing on top of that, because someone else pointed this out, is that those little cartridges that you're going to be buying, the things that cost $10 more than their digital counterparts, they have nothing on them except a key to the game that you're buying. And it's like, oh, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo is essentially Big Brother. Like, Nintendo is like dystopian future of video game worlds right now. It's crazy how, I guess, controlling they've become. And sure, you can say like they've been burned in the past. Like, I don't know, people went in and pirated a bunch of stuff, and they were the ROMs and all that. But they do that with every console. Nintendo's trying to release it like release new versions of older games, which if you have a bunch of ROMs for, I get that hurts your resale value of older games, but I don't know. They're just becoming like the villain. That's what they're the villains right now. They're the villains in the video game world.
And on top of that, like with like what they've been doing with Pal World, where they've basically been saying like, and no one can even try to copy us. Like I saw in the most recent update of Pal World, it's like, oh yeah, and Nintendo filed another patent that you can't ride on your pals anymore. Apparently, Nintendo owns the ability to ride on creatures, so it's like you can't do that in games anymore in Japan, and it's like that's terrifying. Like they are going to be the sole owner of games and game mechanics, and it's just not. Oh, it's not. Yeah.
Well, they're going to kill the video game industry. Like that is something that can kill the video game industry. I don't understand. If you start taking mechanics and you make it literally impossible for people to make any specific type of video game, nobody's going to make games anymore. And then you're going to have like 5 video games that people can play because everything else is patented, and you're going to have like 20 releases a year. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of a terrifying thing where what'll eventually happen is they'll basically be the big trust companies of video game industry that go unchecked. They'll be the monopolies of video games, which I don't think in the United States that will fly. Like I could see, like if it gets to a bad enough point, like we have what's called trust litigation. That's I think the word for it. That prevents it where it's like, okay, if you are like a monopolistic entity, you're not allowed to continue to operate. So I feel like in the United States we might be safer, but like I feel bad for. Like I don't know, but the crazier part is it like it is sold out. Like that thing is sold out everywhere.
I was talking to somebody about that this week though, and I realized like they were like, "Do you honestly think it wouldn't sell out because scalpers are going to buy it? Like it's impossible for it not to sell out because scalpers are going to buy everything that's left in inventory in stock." You know?
Which I hate. Like scalpers are the scum of the earth, in my opinion. Like I just absolutely hate that those people take advantage of that. Nintendo, like to give them some credit, they did do one thing kind of smart. Where if you want to pre-order the Switch 2 through their official website, you have to have on your like Nintendo account 50 hours of online gameplay logged. Which I'm like, you know what? That's how it should be. The people who have 50 hours plus logged on their Nintendo Switch. They should totally get to be able to order the second one next. So I appreciate them actually trying to do something. Fetching, what was it? One of the major websites that you could pre-order Switches on took down the page. Like it's just gone. Like people are wondering whether or not they even ordered a Switch 2. Like I can't remember which one it is. I want to say it's Walmart, but like just like the page is just gone. Like people can't even tell if they ordered the Switch 2 or whatever, which is another crazy. Like terrifying. Like what the heck is going on? No, their updated user agreement, the end user license agreement is it's not the direction I want to see gaming go. I don't stand for it. I don't love it.
I mean, PC gamers are going to be like the main gamers, I feel like, in the next couple of years.
This thing
right here.
I love this thing with all my heart, dude.
Yeah, you need to update us on it. You can jump into that next.
We should jump into that. We should talk about it a little bit because this is the future of gaming. I'm convinced. Yeah, this is the future. I don't know. You want me to just like give my deep dive on this thing?
Yeah, I'd love to, man. I've been wanting to get one. So
this is the Steam Deck. I got a 1 terabyte storage version with the OLED screen, and right now I have 4 games installed on it. And I have room for so much more, but I kind of was trying to see like what's available. I have basically taken it everywhere at this point. Like I take it all over the place. The games that I have installed on it right now is I have Sea of Thieves, Helldivers, Titanfall 2, and what was the other one that I had installed on it? There's a 4th one. What's my 4th? Hang on. I forget my 4th one. Sea of Thieves runs beautifully on this game.
Okay.
And actually, all old. That's what it is. It's an old game. It's Star Wars Republic Commandos.
Okay.
This thing runs old games like fantastically. Like, anything from like Xbox One down
Okay.
like that it runs absolutely flawlessly on this device. Helldivers runs a bit jank on it. They created like a special graphics profile for it to work on the Steam Deck, and I don't love it. I would much rather play Helldivers on my PlayStation for the graphics, because like part of the fun of Helldivers is the just cinematicness of the game. But yeah, like I took this thing. I recently took a little trip to California with my family. I took this thing on the plane and played basically all the Titanfall 2 campaign on the plane while I was flying. So much fun. I've taken it over. One of the coolest things is that portability, dude. Like I take this thing over with my brother-in-law and we play Sea of Thieves together. Like I play it on this little Switch. He plays it on his Xbox. The portability of it is fantastic. And I just like truly think that it's the future. My biggest complaint with it though, I love the layout. I love all the buttons. I hate the grip. The way that
I had that problem with the Switch too.
Yeah,
the Switch never had a comfortable grip until I bought an accessory to make it better.
Yeah, I need to see if there's something like that for this, because my hand truly starts to cramp up using this after a long time. Because they have these two little buttons. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they have these 4 little buttons on the back here that a lot of games rely on for different things. And like just the way that you hold that thing, it's weird. It cramps up. The way that this thing works, this one, which is the PlayStation Portal, I love the way this fits in my hand. Like you can just see like how it fits more ergonomically in your hand.
Yeah,
holding this thing. So like what I think is going to happen with the Xbox, if they're smart, is they're going to build something with like the same power as this, but can be held like their Xbox controller and is as comfortable as this. And that would be my guess is what the future of like Xbox is. And if PlayStation is smart, they'll follow suit.
So the accessory that I bought for my Switch that helped fix like the discomfort with it, the left hand is still vertical. It's like a normal grip, but it rotates your right hand a little bit, so it's at an angle, because this hand is moving around so much, like between the joystick and the button and stuff.
Yeah.
It's more natural for it to be a little bit angled outwards, and that changed like the way that I played the Switch completely. Yeah, it felt so much better.
I totally see that. Like on this one, you can see it like just the way the controller is designed is to let your hand sit more naturally in that like curved position. You just don't get that on this guy. Like you can just tell it's just more flat comparatively.
Brick.
Yeah. It's a brick. I love this brick. This is my favorite brick, but it's way, I don't know. It's been interesting, but this one wins out as far as comfort goes. And I really hope that in the future they either come up with something that lets this be more comfortable to hold for long periods of time, or I hope that Xbox like takes this same idea but makes something as powerful as that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I've been loving the Steam Deck. I'm looking for like more games to put on it. What I've found out so far is like most stuff doesn't work, which is kind of surprising to me.
Really?
Yeah, no. So like you can switch it into more of like a PC mode where you can hook it up to like I have this little dock. I can show you. I got this little dock that you can hook it to that basically turns it into a mini PC. So you can hook it up to an HDMI cord right there. And then it's got ports for like hooking in like a mouse and keyboard. And then you can basically play anything. But in this mobile compact format, there's very few games that work. But the games that do work on it, like I love them because of how portable they are.
I'm looking to see if some of my games that I like work on it. Have you played Risk of Rain? That one's
I haven't played Risk of Rain, but you've recommended me that several times, so I should put that on there.
It's pretty cheap. They just came out with a new DLC. It was owned by a company called Hopu, and I think Hopu got acquired by Gearbox. The company that makes Borderlands.
Dang.
Yeah, they put out DLC like this week. I think
That's
like
crazy.
2 days ago. That looks pretty dope. I need to buy it. But
I mean,
if you get that, let me know, because Matt Bentley and I used to play freaking hours of Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah, you guys used to play that in class, I remember.
Yeah.
No, I'm definitely looking for some more games to try out on it. The games that I have tried that work well on it work fantastically well.
Yeah.
The community, again, the Steam community is just next level. Like, if a game doesn't work, it's pretty likely that a Steam community member has come up with like a button mapping or something.
Cool.
And Steam has like leaned into it where if there's like a very popular button mapping, they tell you when you launch the game, they're like, we're using the most popular button mapping made by the community. I was like, that's amazing. That's so cool. Anyway, so I've been loving the thing. I haven't tried it out too much as like a PC because I've kind of thinking that this is like your gateway to like PC gaming. I need to try that out more, but as like a handheld,
works great.
Thing.
Cool.
Biggest game library you can have available. Most things work. They're pretty good about telling you what the capability of a game is, like before you jump into it. Like they'll basically tell you, like, yes, it has some functionality, or no, like it doesn't have any functionality, or they'll say like limited functionality, where there's like a few places in the game where it's like, okay, like you probably need to use some funky controls to get this to work. They're very, very good about it, but it runs good. It's a lot of fun. I'm trying to figure out if I can get Game Pass onto it somehow. I'm sure somebody's figured out how to do that. But yeah, dude, I freaking love the Steam Deck. It's a blast. Such a good time.
I've really wanted one for a long time. Maybe I'll have to like splurge and get it eventually.
I think for someone like you, it would be really worthwhile as well, because like you have a vast Steam library with lots of like little games you can put onto it. And again, just like that versatility of like you can play this in your bedroom, you can play this on the go, you can play this on the train, you know. I just love that. It was just perfect.
I saw a funny video the other day where some guy got his Steam library and put all of them into a spin wheel. And that was his thing that he would do on stream every single day. He'd jump onto a spin wheel with his library of Steam games, press a button, and then pull one up, and he'd play it for at least an hour, and then give a review.
That's cool.
He had like 900 games on his Steam library or something.
That's amazing. I love that.
So.
That's so crazy. I have like 10 games sitting in my Steam cart right now.
Okay.
They're all great games. Like I know I have like Schedule 1 is in there.
Yeah.
I have Breachers VR is sitting in there. I have so many games in there, and I'm like, oh, it's hard, man. Like that's like the hard part about Steam is the fact that it's like there's so much, you almost get like analysis paralysis of what you want to play and whatnot, you know. Oh, it's too bad. But
yeah, Steam, the problem with Steam is the sales, man. Like
they get you.
Yeah, I've bought so many games on sale. It's like, oh, I could buy 50 games for $30. Like, fuss yeah, why not?
Fuss yeah, I got $30.
I'm never gonna play 45
Half
of those games.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, no, I feel that. But like Steam does so many things right, though, I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Just because I've been thinking a lot about the Meta Store, and I just keep thinking, like, why aren't they looking at the stores that are succeeding, you know? Like, it is wild to me that there isn't a horror tag on the MetaQuest store. Like, if you make a horror game in VR right now,
yeah,
there's no way to tag your game as a horror game, even though that's a pretty significant like section of the MetaQuest store is horror games, and they have no way to differentiate themselves from other people. But like, I mean, you go to Steam, you can go into horror, and then you got all the subcategories of horror, where it's like horror RPG, horror, like, you know, like they got so many tags and stuff like that. I'm like, Meta, take a look around, my guys. Get people to discover things better. Run some sales where people could actually afford crap. But anyway, it's been interesting. But Steam, man, Steam Deck, I'm really hoping that these rumors about their new VR headset are true, because if it is, that could be the Quest killer I've been dying for.
Yeah, I think if anybody can do it, Steam. I saw Team Fortress 3 leaks were coming out. That's pretty cool. That'll be a huge one for Steam and Valve whenever that comes out.
If it comes out.
Yeah.
No Steam.
That's true. That'd be a fun one, though.
That would be a super fun one. What was the other thing I saw from Steam? The other thing that a lot of people have been speculating on, because everyone's been raising prices. This is another one of those losses we should probably talk about. Everyone and their dog raised their prices in the past month, I feel like, since we talked. And everyone's like waiting for Steam Deck to raise their prices. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if they will.
Yeah.
Like, Steam doesn't have to play by everyone else's rules. Like they're
That's
not
very
gonna
true.
raise their prices just to meet the greed of everyone else, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I would love for them to not raise their prices, to just be like, screw you guys. Like, I would be so proud of them if they're just like, you know what, Steam Deck is that price. Because
I
like
don't think they will.
the what is it called? The Valve Index has not changed prices in the 10 years almost it's been out.
Yeah.
Like the Valve Index has remained $1,000 regardless, and it's just like it's been through hella inflation.
The only way I see a company like them raising their prices if they get hit heavy with tariffs, because tariffs are going to increase prices of some things for the next little bit. Like I buy a lot of TTRPG books, and I've kickstarted a bunch of them, and some of them are getting ready to like ship out to the United States, but they've actually put them on hold. Yeah, it's like an extra 50% of what they were going to pay originally for tariffs. They will now have to pay, so they've kind of postponed their projects until tariffs get figured out. Like that's going to be a big thing for the next little bit. Things are just going to be more expensive in general. So
yeah, no, I totally get that. Like my father-in-law does a lot of like manufacturing in China, and it's really hit his business really hard because it's like,
yeah,
like he looked into doing it in America, and it's just like it's just not feasible here. Like you just have to go overseas. But I don't know. Like on the Steam Deck and stuff, like the hardware is not where they're making money. Like I feel like if anything, they're just trying to recoup their cost on like hardware. Software is where these guys make the big bucks, you know.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I was actually genuinely surprised that Xbox. I wasn't surprised that they raised their game prices, but I was surprised that they raised the console prices. Because if my understanding of their like if the financials is correct, like they make little to no money on the console anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's like why I don't know. I don't think they needed to. Especially since like dude, the Xbox Series X is like 5 years old at this point. It's an old console. It came out in 2020. So I don't know. I just think they're jumping on a profit, in my opinion. But
yeah, definitely.
Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one and they all stink.
Well, speaking of opinions, we got a message in chat earlier that I wanted to look at because I thought this was really cool. Or not, it was a really good idea. So, what is a game series that is still going that probably won't be around in a year or two? I have some opinions on it.
Still going that won't be around in a year or two.
You know what game series I hope dies in the next year or two?
Oh, let's hear it.
Assassin's Creed, dude.
Yeah, that was actually the first one that jumped to mind for me. Actually, it was Assassin's Creed. Yeah, like, no.
They need to. The poor guy died years ago, and they're just using its corpse right now for corporate greed. Like I loved Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed was revolutionary. If you were growing up in the time of Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed 3 and playing video games, like that was an era of video games that kind of revolutionized the way that we think about video games now. Assassin's Creed was groundbreaking. It was the coolest thing ever when it came out.
It was so good. I remember that first game, dude. Like I remember playing that on the Xbox 360. Yeah. I remember way back when.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, open world game. That for me, that was the first open world game where I was like, I want to see everything. I want to explore. I want to do the side quest. I want to do all these things. Like, yeah, no, it's definitely.
Yeah, I loved Assassin's Creed. I loved Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, one of the best games of all time. I'll put that out there. I thought it was so much fun when I was playing it the first time through. The storyline of what was actually going on in the background kind of sucks, but like the whole Ezio game series, the whole Ezio timeline, like all that era of Assassin's Creed was awesome. And then they killed it and just kept on beating the dead horse over and over and over and over again until what it is now is like a sad shadow of what it used to be. They're not innovating. They're not doing anything awesome anymore. Like it's just kind of hopeless to me what they've done with Assassin's Creed. So I hope they stop making them at least for a while until they figure out their crap. Like any game that comes out every year, there needs to be a break where they realize, all right, this isn't working. Like Call of Duty, just stop
Call of
making
Duty
Call of
has
Duty
gone
for a
there.
year or two, figure out what the heck is going on,
Yep.
rein it back in, figure out how to make it better, and then remake it. Maybe.
Yep.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Any other game that depends on remakes instead of making new content too, like end those franchises.
It's in trouble. It's in trouble for sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But the thing with Assassin's Creed is like they used to be so innovative. Like the Assassin's Creed game that I played like all the way through was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because like
Pirates.
that game, you were a pirate. Like you were a fetching pirate, and you got to sail the seas and have a crew and build up your reputation. Like they nailed piracy so perfectly. But I think like the way that they've been doing Assassin's Creed is they've kind of been like, okay, let's take like a cool era of history and explore it, right? Like so, like we did pirates, we did the American Revolution, they did Vikings, they've done samurai. Like they're running out of adventure time periods at this point. It's like
yes,
at this point they have a couple of choices. You can go into some of the controversial time periods, which I don't think they're gonna do.
No,
because with like the amount of crap they got for Assassin's Creed Shadows, like doing anything else would be terrible. Or they're gonna have to go to the future, which I feel like everyone's just like, yeah, no thanks, you know. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like to answer this question by Jenny No Mercy, like yeah, Assassin's Creed. I can definitely see Assassin's Creed being done in a year or two.
This is another good question right here. When do you think we're going to see another large AAA game line from any of these three? I have an opinion on that too.
What do you mean by AAA game line? Like a new series?
Yeah, so they followed up with saying like Splatoon 2 or Splatoon. Like there's now 3 or 4 Splatoons. It was a brand new IP that they released in 2013 that they've continued to go with that's doing really well.
So basically, like, when is something original going to come out?
Yeah, I mean, you had like Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon whatever. Like those are big franchises now. Last of Us, but that was a long time ago when they made Last of Us 1.
Is a while ago. Do you want to go first on this one, or do you want me to?
No. You go.
So, I think we are about to enter a legendary era of indie games, and Expedition 33 is kind of, I feel like, the tip of the iceberg on what's going to happen.
For sure.
Because, like, exactly what happened with Expedition 33, there are people at AAA studios who are sick of being part of the machine. They're sick of being part of the corporate greed, and they're talented people, as evidenced by this Expedition 33 game. And, like, I think these guys are going to continue to either, A, be let go from these big companies, or B, they're going to leave and start their own companies. And they're going to create the games that kill AAA studios, in my opinion. So, like, when do I think it? I would not be surprised if in, like, the next year or two, we get the next games that are going to just define, like, the next decade of gaming, for sure. Because, like, the big dogs have gotten too big. They've gotten too greedy. And it's turning into this giant space for indie devs to come in and show how it's really done. It's like the big guys have forgotten what makes games fun, but gamers haven't forgot, and those indie devs are gonna fill the gap. That's my opinion on it.
I think I don't think these big studios are going to make games like that anymore. The only company that I see will make a game like that anymore is Nintendo, because Nintendo is going to continue to make its own IP, but PlayStation, I don't think is going to really make anything other than that robot game that won Game of the Year or whatever.
Well, PlayStation has Helldivers, which that's going to go on for a while.
They didn't make that, though. That was an indie studio that made it.
Owned by Sony. Arrowhead Studios is owned by Sony.
Now it is, but the original one...
The original Helldivers that came out in like 2010, which is like a top-down shooter. The original Arrowhead made that independently, but they were acquired by Sony before the release of Helldivers, which is why Helldivers never made it on other consoles.
Yeah.
I don't dumb Sony. Get it
I don't think
out
those.
Of your head.
I don't think Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo are going to make anything in their own internal studios that's transformative ever again. Except, well, again, Nintendo might, because Nintendo does stuff.
Nintendo will make some stuff that well, even then, like Nintendo will stay in that safe area of like it's Mario but different. It's
Splatoon was a
Metroid but different.
huge game. I think it was a really good game for their franchise or for
Yeah,
their franchise that they have because it was a first person shooter,
yeah.
but it was a Nintendo spin on a first person shooter. I think they can continue to do that. I don't think there's another company that can continue to do that and develop its own IP anymore like that.
No, and
They're
like
just gonna acquire companies that make cool stuff, acquire
yeah,
the indie studios, you know.
which that's going to be the danger of these next couple of years is we're going to get
Hmm.
some very successful, wildly successful indie studios, and I hope they hold out and
Yeah.
don't just take the easy sell. Because like again, going back to Expedition 33, they sold like 4 million copies, and their
Yep.
game is priced at like I think it's $30 or something like that.
Hmm.
Like those guys are sitting on the game cost them, they said $5 million to make. They're
Okay.
easily sitting on something like after the platform fees, probably 20 or $30 million, you know?
Yeah.
They're doing great. But the problem is these big guys are gonna come in and be like, hey, how does 100 million say for you to sell your goal, you know? So I hope the indie studios kind of hold out. Like I totally get it. You know, if someone were to come along and say, "Hey, I'll give you $100 million for sale VR," I'd kind of be like, "Well, maybe."
Yeah.
You know,
Why not?
why not?
And then you go and make a new indie studio.
That's my thing. Is it's like, you know, people ask me like, if you were to not be doing this, like, what would you be doing? It's like, no, I'd still be doing this. Like, this is the dream job. To be doing like YouTube and video games. So it's like I would, if I sold my company, I'd just start another one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But
no, I get that.
Yeah, it'll be it's like Xbox, their whole strategy is changing to be more like a publisher. Like they've kind of figured out that, you know, our hardware is fine, but actually the big bucks comes from selling our software as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I could see Xbox finding the indie games the fastest because their mentality has shifted. PlayStation could surprise us, potentially. I've seen that in the past with them, just because they've got studios that are working on something supposedly.
Nintendo used to be really good about indie games. Like they used to have, because they have the Nintendo Directs, they used to do indie game directs that were only indie game related.
Yeah.
So I would love to continue to see that from Nintendo. I thought that was so cool. That's where I first learned about a bunch of my favorite indie games now, like Dead Cells and what's the bug one? Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, no, it's weird to me that like so many like indie focused things have died recently. I don't know if it's just me or like I'm amazed that there's not like an indie VR game showcase that exists. Like I was actually talking to that one guy you got me in touch with who does the weekly VR meetups.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about potentially like doing a festival or something in virtual reality. And I'm kind of like, you know, that's something I want to support. Like I want to support that kind of stuff, that kind of development. And I don't know, but yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens in the next couple of years. Personally, I think we're going to get some indie studios that are going to make game-changing games. And then like they'll either be bought up by the big studios and distributed accordingly, or they'll be smart, hold out, and just keep making awesome stuff. That's what I hope for.
I've been starting to try and go full indie with like everything that I do now. Like even the role-playing games that I play. Like this is all Dungeons and Dragons books, but I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons in a really long time. The campaign that I'm running right now actually uses this rule book, which is called Shadow Dark, and it's
you showed me that.
Indie.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's complete indie series. Like all of these are now indie books instead of Dungeons and Dragons, and like these ones down here are indie. And they're starting to like eclipse my Dungeons and Dragons collection. I'm trying to do a lot more indie role-playing games just because like it's so much cooler to support small creators because they still make really good content, you know?
Yeah. Well, they got their heart in it still. They're not in it for cash. Well, you can tell. Like you can tell.
Most of the time they make better content. So that's just my opinion. I think indies are way better than AAA in most cases. Yeah,
I've been doing a lot of browsing of like Kickstarter as I've been trying to contemplate running my own Kickstarter for our cowboy game. And I've just like found so many products where it's like I want to support this just because I think it's cool.
Yeah.
that autonomous lawnmower that I got, that started as a Kickstarter project. I got it.
Oh, cool.
I used it.
How is it?
It's awesome. It's the coolest thing ever. I'm working on a video for it, so guys, definitely
That's
stay
awesome.
tuned for that. It's one of the coolest pieces of tech I've ever touched. It's so fun.
Well,
Like,
I recently, I've talked about this before, but this little indie hardware for video games,
yes.
indie hardware is so cool to me. Like this is
If
one
it
of
actually
the
delivers.
this is so good. They just released, so when you buy a Playdate, you get their season 1 games. So every week for 10 weeks, you get a brand new game added to your Playdate. And that is coming with the purchase of the Playdate. And they're like small
Gotcha.
games and stuff, but you get a brand new one. I think it's every week or every day. I can't remember. But they just updated their catalog, so now there's a season 2. And I pre-ordered it. It's about to kick off in the next week or two. But then every week for the next, month and a half, I'll be receiving a brand new Playdate game on my Playdate. And it just, you wake up in the morning, it's connected to internet all night. It downloads onto your console, and then you wake up the next morning and you have a brand new video game on your Playdate.
Cool.
Yeah, I just love the concept of it. I love like the small studio that made it. The company that manufactured the actual, or that made the design of it, is really cool. And Panic, that's the company that makes it. Panic makes video games too. Like it's a video game studio. They just made this little hardware on the side because it was fun.
I love that.
Yeah, so indie hardware is so fun to play with too. You should get one. You should get a Playdate.
I really should. There's a couple of. I want to start exploring. This is my problem. Is I have like a stack of all the things I'm supposed to be making videos on. Like,
yeah.
I need to make my Steam Deck review. I have that like on the things I need to do. I've got to make my autonomous lawnmower video. I've got what's the other thing that's on my review list? My sister just went to Epic Universe. Okay. And this morning we recorded like an hour of us talking about it because she went to Epic Universe while I was at Disneyland. And so we kind of did like, this compare and contrast of like what's going on there. I got like this stack of all these things I want to do, but I would love to start reviewing like more stuff like that. Yeah. There's this new game console made for kids. That's I can't remember what it's called, but it's very akin to like the old Kinect, cool. Like the Xbox Kinect. And so like I really want to take a look at that. I'm just there's so much I want to do with like the YouTube side of things, and I'm just swamped as always. But dude, I just remembered we have to talk about it.
What's up?
GTA 6.
Oh,
GTA 6.
The delay, dude. Everybody knew that was. There's no way that wasn't gonna happen. Are you kidding me? Freaking.
No, I'm not mad about it. I don't know why everyone's freaking out about it because, like, number one, did you see the graphics, dude? Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that footage and that second trailer was all captured on a PlayStation 5.
That's awesome.
There's bubbles in the beer. There's like reflections on the sunglasses and the windshield. The graphics that they're gonna pull off in that game are insane,
for
dude.
Sure. Like, if you have the hardware to run it, you're gonna have a PlayStation 5 Pro, so you're gonna spend $900 to get a console.
No, they captured it on a PlayStation 5 base.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 base is what they said. That's what they claim. Is it was captured on a PlayStation 5 base. And like, if someone can make it happen, it's Rockstar. They've got some wizardry happening at that company, and I love it. But like, the other thing that's so good about it is it opens up the rest of this year as a window of opportunity for game developers to come in and like not have to worry about a massive IP coming out that's been literally like 13 years in the making, you know? Like, I think that's going to be huge. And I think a lot of people are going to push their timelines up to try to release in 2025 so that they don't have to compete with Rockstar in 2026. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like, dude, the graphics on that game are insane. I like the two characters that they've introduced to us, like those two main characters. Like, I already think they're awesome. Like, if you watch that trailer, it's like you're watching like this little love story, and I'm like, hey, I kind of love these characters already.
Have you played Cyberpunk 2077?
I haven't. That's one of the ones that works that really well on the Steam Deck. Okay. I should play that. I want to get into it. I know that works as a VR mod.
Okay.
It's like one of the mods that people say you should try out in virtual reality. So I really want to try it in VR at some point, but that's on the long list of things I need to try out and do.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely. I'm getting into a schedule of. I'm trying to record more long form content, edit it, and get it posted by weekend.
Dude, editing sucks, man. I spent
Editing
like 2 days
sucks!
editing one 30-minute video because I had like 3
gosh.
hours of content.
Oh, what do you use to edit?
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay. You are using DaVinci Resolve. I'll have to send you this video after the stream of a couple of plugins that are super helpful for DaVinci. It might help out. But anyway, yeah, GTA 6, freaking crazy. But I'm here for it. Here for it. But we got it looks like we got a bunch of other questions in the chat. Should we
there's a lot of stuff going on.
I've got some good recommendations for this week, though. So
I do
don't
too.
Let me forget the game recommendations.
I have one I haven't played yet that I am stoked for. Just absolutely stoked for.
I got one that's going to change your life. I guarantee it. It is going to change your life.
Another room renovation game.
Better than room renovation, my friend. Should we just do those? Let's do the recommendations so we can jump into some questions.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. You go first. Hit me up. Hit me with this. Let's hear it.
So, let me pull it back up in my library because I bought it. So this game, I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube, like a demo of it. Okay. It's called Sunderfolk.
Sunderfolk.
Let me pull it up. So the game itself, you don't play it on like with controllers.
Okay.
Here, let me pull it up.
This is the game of.
So it launches, and the first thing you see when you jump into the game is a QR code on the screen.
Okay.
So you can play it on Discord with your buddies. Everybody gets their mobile phone out, and then they hit the QR code, and it's a couch co-op game. It's a strategy-based RPG, like chessboard and stuff. Kind of like Dungeons and Dragons-esque, or like what's that VR game that I like a lot?
Demio.
Yeah, Demio. But it's all running on your mobile phone, and then you connect to the server, and then it all runs on the main screen. So like I can play with my buddies. I can put this up on Discord. We can have the main screen on there. Everybody will get it on their phones, and then instead of playing on keyboards and stuff, you're just playing from your mobile phone. And one person has to buy it, and you can play with 3 friends. Not everybody has to have a copy. So I bought it, hoping that some of my friends will want to play with me. But it reminds me a lot of the games that I used to love, like Heroes, Might, and Magic. I used to play that.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like Demio, or just any turn-based role-playing game, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff as well, is very similar mechanics. But I mean, this whole concept is awesome to me. I love that they're taking a risk on technology like this, because there's not been a large game made like this. The only types of games that I can think of that use this type of technology is like, what are they called? The board games.
Jackbox game?
Yeah, Jackbox. It's like very Jackbox-esque, but it's a real video game.
Like
trivia.
I see when I was first introduced to Apple Arcade and some of the stuff they're trying to do, this is what I thought they were trying to do, is like create games that could be played with your phone but worked more in tandem. Like, dude, I love this. This is fantastic. Sunderfolk.
Yeah, it reminds me of like just a digital board game, honestly, that you're all playing on your phone.
But also, I love the relaxation of pressure to buy by just saying like, hey, one person gets it, and then the social aspect takes the rest of it.
Exactly.
That's amazing. I think that's such a good. We need more of that.
It looks really good too.
Oh, it looks fantastic. I'm so curious how they're doing all this. Like, that's
isn't it cool?
That's so cool.
I saw it like 2 days ago, and I was like, "What the? I need this game."
That's so cool.
Just ended up getting
it.
Out? Recently, I want to say. I'm surprised I didn't hear about it earlier. In all honesty,
Sunderfolk has only an 8 out of 10 on IGDB. Boo.
Let's see. It came out April 23rd.
Awesome.
Less than a month ago.
I love that. I want to see that. I think that's another thing that'll happen in the next like year or two for us, is we're going to see a lot of innovation, creativity with like the accessibility of games. Because I just think at this point, everything should be cross-platform. Like everything should be accessible. Like,
Yeah.
The gatekeeping that like Nintendo and PlayStation is doing is
Mhm.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. They are losing out on money because of this garden wall they've created for themselves. And I don't understand it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, why would
Oh.
you not publish to another 10 million players by going
Yeah,
onto another
exactly.
platform? That's stupid. That's just poor business design.
Dude, I love this comment by Alfredo Chicken here. Not really a mechanic, but I think some games really miss out on an opportunity to develop a unique art style. Good artistic games are something we need more of. Most games try for realism when most of the community is trying to escape reality. I love that. I 10 out
That's
of 10
such a
agree.
good point.
Yeah.
That it's so hard though. Like art is like you have to find someone who can do it. It's difficult, you know. Like I've been lucky to be surrounded by very talented artists who have helped me with like Sail and Hard Drive and stuff like that. But if I were to do that on my own, like I just couldn't, you know. The amount of time it takes to make a good art style is hard. So like I agree. I wish we could see more, but I understand why you can't as well, you know. But
Yeah.
dude, I love this Sunderfolk fire recommendation.
Yeah, I 10 out of 10. Like, I'll let you guys know how it actually plays. I don't really doubt that it's going to be good. I like these types of games, so I'm not worried about it. But I love the idea of, just a digital board game that I can sit down and play around with my buddies on Discord, and we can have a good time dinking around. Like, my friends and I have been talking about playing Baldur's Gate 3 and doing something like that. But to me, like, this is just even easier than Baldur's Gate 3 to just sit and play something like this.
I love that.
So that's my first one.
You ready for my recommendation?
Yep.
Okay. Allow me to introduce you. I'm sending it over to you, the Steam page. I have no idea how to pronounce this, but it's called Ithia Magic Studies. This is a super interesting game because it is a cozy, this is how they describe it themselves. They say it is a cozy background app that combines productivity tools with a room and relaxation with lo-fi fantasy playlists. So basically, the way this game works is you have it playing in the background and you assign yourself like tasks and things you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it just plays in the background. And as you complete those tasks, you like level up your player and like get coins and stuff. So it's like productivity mixed with an RPG.
That's fun.
It's fantastic. And it's like for people with like ADHD, but the running joke at my company, Red Team Interactive, is that we should actually be called Red Team Hyperactive because I think we have official ADHD diagnoses for like 3 of the 5 people working at the company. And so like we always share with each other like these little things that help us. And this game has been like game changing.
Really?
It's just this little game that sits in the background, gives you some calm music to do what you need to do but then it combines like some of those productivity things that you need of like making checkpoints and lists and getting rewards for it, filling that little thing, you know, getting that little dopamine hit for getting it done.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fantastic. I recommend it.
Have you been playing it then?
I've been trying it. It does get a little like you have to have like a good screen to have it working in the background. The way my setup is working, it doesn't quite work the way I want it to.
Gotcha.
But the basic premise though of it's like I need to do this, and you make yourself a checklist, and then you kind of like get some rewards for it. That's very satisfying. As someone who has a hard time focusing, that's very satisfying. So,
Jackson 0911911. Can anyone tell me whether or not an 820 megabyte graphics card run Pillars of Eternity? I think it can. Pillars of Eternity 2 is kind of an older game. I love Pillars of Eternity. That's another really good one.
Let me see what the minimum requirements. Usually you can see that right on their page.
Let's look it up.
I'm trying to see it. I'm on their store page right now. Okay, minimum says Intel i3 core, memory 5 gigabytes RAM, graphics ATI Radeon HD 48050 or a NVIDIA GeForce 9600.
So you might be out of luck.
No, I think you might be able to get away with it.
This is another really fun game. If you're getting into that turn-based game, Pillars of Eternities they're fantastic. Good franchise.
So they announced that. Did you see that new Star Wars game, Zero Company? Star Wars Zero Company.
Mm-mm.
So Star Wars announced a new game. It's called Star Wars Zero Company.
Okay.
It's a turn-based tactical RPG, not RPG, turn-based tactical assault game. No, how did they describe it? It's really interesting. But like, I was kind of bummed out when they announced it because I was hoping for something else. But anyway, I'm an FPS whore, as I've often said. But anyway, it looks interesting, and a lot of people are pretty excited about it because it's like a very different Star Wars game than we've gotten in the past. So yeah, Star Wars Zero Company, kind of interesting. Not sure if I would recommend it, but it's cool. Star Wars Zero Company. It is from EA, so be advised.
Okay.
How do they describe it? Zero Company. It's a turn-based tactics title.
I'll have to look at that.
It's
That might be a Star Wars game I enjoy.
It's turn-based. I know you're all about that life. So, and it's coming out on like everything. So it's one of those highly accessible titles. Will be interesting.
Yeah.
And it's single player. It's not multiplayer. It's just single player. So
Oh,
it's
interesting.
Like, you'll just buy it and have it.
Turn-based games are pretty accessible, I feel like.
Just most of the time. They're easier graphics wise. If you don't, if you cut out networking, that just makes your life so much easier. But
yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, this one's like this one's okay. This one's more like let me think of that game. Contra, I think, is the name of the game I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I had a lot of people in the comments telling me there was games that it was very similar to in the past, and that's why they're saying they're all for it. So.
No, not Contra. I know I have the game somewhere. I can't remember. I know like Rayman Raving Rabbids and Mario 2 is like a turn-based shooter game. That's what this one reminds me of, where you have to hide behind things.
Yeah.
Like cover is super important, but this guy had a funny recommendation that I think is fantastic. Have you ever played Broforce? I think I've talked about Broforce before on here.
What is Broforce?
Oh, dude, it is hilarious. Let me pull it up real fast.
Broforce. Oh my gosh. What is this?
It's hilarious. It's a Devolver Digital game.
Oh, so, of course it is.
It's a side-scroller shooter. Co-op, like you can play co-op, but every single character is named after a character from a hero movie, like Rambo.
Yeah.
But it's like Rambro. That's the name of the character. It's a really fun game. Anything Devolver Digital, 10 out of 10. Devolver Digital, I will play anything that's made by them. Or I guess
they've got this awesome animation for their like trailer. It's fantastic.
Yeah. They just Gorn 2 just came out. That's
Gorn
a Devolver
2,
Digital
I
game.
did see that. Gorn 2. The first one was fantastic. I haven't tried the second one yet.
They did Plucky Squire. That's one of my favorite games right now on my PlayStation. I think Plucky Squire is beautiful because it goes from that 2D game. So you're playing a 2D game inside of the book, and then you get kicked out of the book, and now you're playing a 3D game, and it's like different types. So there's like this fighter game mini game inside of here, which is
that's dope.
Yeah, there's like 15 different genres in this one video game. Let's see, this part you're playing it like a fighting game, and then there's a lot of 2D platforming and then 3D platforming, like RPGs. It's a really funny game.
That's some scope creep right there. What kind of game do you want to make? All of them.
All of them. This one's funny. It's called Angerfoot. You running around just instead of having guns and stuff when you go into rooms, you can pick up guns, but you get rewards for only winning by kicking people. So the story of this game is you're a shoe collector, and a gang breaks into your house and steals your shoe collection. So you have to go around and kill everybody. There's like time trials. This is somebody playing it live right now. You can just play the whole game only kicking people and killing them.
That's fantastic. Oh
pretty
man,
funny.
wait! I gotta find this. There's this other game that I've seen lately. I think it's. I need to see if it's. Okay, so this game is called Hard Bullet.
Okay.
It's a VR game. Here, I'll send you the Steam page. This game is the closest you will ever feel to being like John Wick, and it's fantastic.
Pull it up. Even though there's a John Wick game,
Is it John Wick game?
it's the rhythm game.
Oh, this is better than that. Like this is like because of like the VR-ness of it, like it's fantastic. It's seriously one of the coolest things.
That does look fun. This is somebody live playing it right now.
How do you do that? How do you get it so that like people can play your game live on stream? And it shows up on the Steam page.
It's a good question. I don't know.
I need to look into that.
Yeah.
So that's something that should be happening for sale. We have a few people who stream sale pretty consistently. But I don't know.
Do you
if
have a
they're
Steam page?
shown. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you'll have to look into that. That'd be pretty cool. This looks like a combo of what's that one game where you have the red guys and time is slowed down?
Yeah, it's a fetch. Super hot.
Yeah, like a super hot type game, but with more ragdoll physics.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
That looks fun.
Yeah, that's been I want to jump into that one and try it because I recently watched some John Wick movies and I was like, there's got to be some kind of John Wick VR game, right? This is it. This is what I found.
That's cool.
So there you go. Hard Bullet.
Lots of recommendations today.
A lot of recommendation. Well, we are going on an hour and a half for this episode.
Should we end it right here?
Probably.
Are we doing an after stream? You got things to do?
I was hoping I would have a Fortnite creator code by now, but I don't. So
well, I mean, I could always just boot up Sunderfolk and we could try it out live.
yeah, we could try that.
We don't have to. You don't have to.
I need to check in with the missus and see if everything's okay there.
Yeah.
So maybe chat. Keep a wary eye on the horizon.
Okay.
I also do want to jump into hard drive and get that finished. I should probably finish that.
Nerd.
I want to make games.
Play video games.
I just want to make my Tron game. All right. Well, that's it. That's all, folks. Cue the Looney Tunes outro.
Thanks for coming. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe. We have our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts. So go on there, download the episodes, listen to them. That helps us out a ton so more people can find our content. And then we have our own YouTube channel for the podcast. Practically Reality Podcast is the name of the channel. So check that out and subscribe to it. And yeah, let us know next time if you have any ideas for what we should talk about on Garrett's Discord. We have a little section for the podcast, and we're both, on Discord a lot. So send either one of us a message on the podcast thing, and we'll be sure to respond. And maybe we can do an episode where we just answer questions that you guys have on the podcast. So, yeah, thanks for jumping in, and welcome to season 2 of the Practically Reality Podcast.
Let's go! If you don't catch us live, you should.
Yeah,
catch us live Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Might be changing with the summertime. We might need to find another day with the summer schedules changing up. But the place to be is on the Discord to know. So,
yeah, definitely.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks
Guys. See ya.
Peace.
Bye.